Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Playing with House Money. I'm Ice. This right here is my co-host DJ Prue. This video is a tutorial for those people that are new to the betting world, new to sports gambling in the US, and have some questions. One of the things that we answer questions constantly about is round robins. And what we're going to do today is just show you a little bit about how round robins work and more importantly, the differences between two of the major sports books in the way that they both run round robins because they're both very different. And we see a lot of questions from people asking mainly, hey, I round robin this bet and it didn't hit. I didn't win anything. Why didn't I win? The whole point of a round robin is so that if you miss a parlay by one leg, then you can still potentially win if you've set it up in the right way. And FanDuel and DraftKings just go about how they set up their round robin slightly differently. So this quick video is going to just talk you through how they both set them up and the difference is really there.
Yeah, well, and he said for people that are new to gambling, sometimes it's people that know how to gamble and they just don't know what they're even getting offered.
Yeah. So what we're gonna use a couple of games like we're obviously gonna use the Thursday night football game that's this week, and we have a Saturday game this week. So we're going to use those two games primarily, just purely because I'm going to use touchdown scorers as a prop that we're going to parlay together. And on DraftKings, especially, they don't have lines out yet for the Sunday touchdown scorers. So first off here, this is DraftKings Sportsbook for those that are not familiar. Thursday night football, we have Jets at Browns. And what you see here is kind of one of the things that they do. And one of the differences with DraftKings is that you have to specifically choose whether you're taking a straight line or you want to enable the same game parlay option.
Which on the phone, on the mobile app, they have changed that.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll offer, like, you'll have to see the little SGP symbol in the corner. It'll automatically do it. But
certain lines you can't same game parlay. Certain ones you can only take as straights. But for example, if we look at the touchdown scorers, who do you like in this game? Anyone in particular?
David and Njoku.
Everyone loves a bit of Njoku, and who else? I know I'm going to talk about this on our actual show this week, but I love a bit of Elijah Moore revenge game. So if you take these two guys as anytime touchdown scorers here in Njoku and Moore, you see here, like, it tells me, unfortunately, your picks cannot be parlayed. Are you trying to place the same game parlay? So I have these two guys in here, but I can't play them both together. I can't place a bet here unless I place them both as singles. And that's DraftKings telling me that what I need to do is select a same game parlay to play them together.
Yep.
But if I leave them in the bet slip and I move on to, that's not the Saturday game. The Saturday game being the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. And again, I come out of the same game parlay option and I pick a touchdown scorer here. Who do you like in this game? We could probably take any one of these guys on this page.
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta. There we go. So if we take Sam and we just add one player from this game, and now you look, again, you should be able to play these guys as a round robin, and it just doesn't allow you. It still thinks that you're trying to, because you have these two guys from the same game, right. It is not allowing you to round robin. And as we'll see when we move over to FanDuel, that's a big difference. So what we have to do here, if we want to play these three guys together, we have to remove the two guys from the same game. And we have to actually go into the game in the same game parlay. Make sure you've got that enabled. And if you're in this screen and it has the option here, then click to enable same game parlay. And now you're looking at what you can, and you still have the touchdown scorers odds. And hey, sometimes these are slightly different in the same game parlay option, which is another completely separate problem I have with DraftKings. But sometimes it works in your favor and the odds are better to same game parlay them. Sometimes they're worse. But we take the same two guys, right? We take Njoku, we take Elijah Moore. And the way we see that plays out now is that it gives you these two picks as a same game parlay and says that it's plus 1,000 for both of these guys. And then you have Sam Laporta at plus 150. And therefore your three picks together as an SGPX, as it is called on DraftKings, is plus 2650. You have no option here to round robin, because what this is telling you is that you've only made two picks.
Right. Those two legs in the same game are going to be considered one leg in a round robin.
Yes. So at this point, you have no round robin option because you've only got two choices. Your choice is either to play them both as singles or to play the parlay of the two legs. So if we wanted to choose something else to make it a round robin, then let's go to the 49ers Commanders game. We don't have first drive. We don't have touchdown scorers here. We have, first drive quick hits and stuff.
Take the Commanders.
We don't have any touchdowns.
575. The Commanders money line plus 575.
Let's take the Commanders in it, because that's the type of thing that you should be round robin, right? Yep. Like those type of odds. There's no point in my honest opinion taking something like the 49ers money line at minus 850 and throwing that in a round robin.
You shouldn't throw that in any play.
Yeah, because there's just no value in it. But okay, so we take the plus 575. We see here our 4-pick parlay plus 18,462. So one singular dollar on that 4-leg play. We're going to have to play this now, right? Would pay out $185. But as you see at the bottom of the screen here, it now gives you the option for a round robin. So if we open this up, what this is going to tell you is that now we have 3 bets. So again, what this is doing is it's taking the Commanders money line as 1 bet. It's taken Elijah Moore and Njoku as 1 bet.
Right.
And it's taking Sam Laporta as 1 bet. So you now have 3 bets that it is looking at. And what you can do with the round robin is to say, I want to play 2 picks. So I want any combination of those 2 to hit and win. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my $5. And what that's telling us here is that there are 3 bets of $5 that you can make. So you can have any combination. So Sam Laporta gets a touchdown, then that's great. That's 1 green tick. Right. 1 green check mark against it. All you need to happen to win in a round robin is then one of the other 2 to hit. Now, if the Commanders win, then you take the Commanders price plus Sam Laporta's price, and you win whatever that parlay returns. That's that's bet number 1. Bet number 2 is Sam Laporta with Njoku and Elijah Moore. That's bet number 2. And if the 3 of them all score touchdowns, you win that one. Bet number 3 is then if Sam Laporta misses, he doesn't score a touchdown, and the other things do happen, Elijah Moore, David Njoku both score, and the Washington Commanders do win, then that's bet number 3. So you have 3 bets, all staked the same amount, but they're by 2. So they're 2 picks. And then you have the option. So you see here, it's 3 bets times 5. So that would be a $15 payout or stake, sorry. And then your maximum payout there is going to be $593 if all 3 hit.
Right. That max payout is if all 3 of them hit, you clean sweep. Essentially, you'll see those numbers go up as you add legs and whatnot.
And the good part about DraftKings, which is where they have a good, the good part is if you place these round robins on DraftKings, once you've placed the bet and you go into your My Bets section and you open it up, it will break down for you the returns for each combination that you've got.
Right.
and it will say like leg 1 and 2, and it will number them for you, tell you which one is leg 1, which is leg 2, which is leg 3. But and then you've got the option here. If you're doing this, that you should always probably throw a something on the total kind of parlay, which is again, and it shows you here like this is a 4-pick parlay, which is kind of misleading that it says it's 4 picks, but this down here is only 2 picks because you've got 4 different things in there. But again, they're classing this 2 picks as 1 pick. So again, some of the wording is a little bit misleading, but that's the way it works on here, is that anything same game, you can only do it as a same game parlay.
Right.
And I think
any legs in the same game are going to be considered one leg in a round robin.
In a round robin, and that's for DraftKings. So let's move over and we'll check this out on FanDuel, because this is where this is where you get the difference, is that we're going to pick the same legs, right? So we want touchdown scorers here. We picked David Njoku. We picked Elijah Moore.
Better odds.
Now you see
FanDuel.
here, this.
You like those two? You get better odds on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Nicely.
But you can see right here that it's automatically put it into a same game parlay for you.
Right.
So you don't have to be it tells you at the top here that this particular prop that you're looking at can be SGP'd. Some of them won't have that, but this has already put it into an SGP for us, and it's given us plus 1364, which is better than the plus 1,000 that we got over at DraftKings. But again, that's a different tutorial. That's a shop your lines discussion. So on to Detroit. We're looking for Sam Laporta at plus 145. We'll add him in there. And what you see here now, the key difference, remember with DraftKings, they didn't offer us the option to round robin when we had these 3 picks alone. FanDuel will allow you to round robin these picks. And the round robin option here is going to allow you to round robin these 3 selections as 3 individual bets.
Right.
Because you've moved on. It's now not a same game parlay. You've got the option to play your 3-leg same game parlay plus. But if you want to play these individually because you think, hey, like Njoku and Elijah Moore, I'm unsure, I can't decide which, but one of these guys is definitely going to score. I'm unsure if they're both going to play. Then this is what's up.
Look at the 2 back. Look at the wager. Go slow down.
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay, okay.
So what you're ultimately saying here is that if I think one of these 2 guys is going to score, but I don't know which, I can play them in a round robin. And yes, the difference being here is that technically you think I have 3 separate legs, right? So I have, in the last one, we showed you 3 separate legs. You have 3 separate options. You could have Njoku and Moore, bet number 1. You could have Njoku and Laporta, bet number 2, and Moore and Laporta is bet number 3. But the thing that FanDuel does is FanDuel will not allow you to play Njoku and Moore in a round robin because they are from the same game. So
they'll let you, but
they'll let you, but you have to play that on its own as the same game parlay. The 2 wagers that this is telling you buy 2, and like you said, is only 2 wagers. So you're only placing a bet here of $10. And you might think, and this is where it catches people out on FanDuel, because they assume that they've got, if Njoku and Moore, if I place this bet and Sam Laporta doesn't hit, but Njoku and Moore both do, then I think some people will think that they've won. Because they've played this round robin by 2, that means they're allowed to get one red cross and they still win. But that is not the way FanDuel does it. So the 2 bets that you are placing here are David Njoku and Sam Laporta, and Elijah Moore and Sam Laporta. They are the 2 bets you are placing. So Sam Laporta is in both of those. So Sam Laporta has to score.
Yep,
If he misses, doesn't matter what the other two do, both bets are dead. And that's the piece where people get confused, is that what this will break down for you is this will only allow you to take individual legs. And what I'll do is I'll take Elijah Moore out of here, and we'll just take a third leg from another game, and we'll show you what it looks like when you have 3 legs from 3 different games.
Commanders money line. Commanders. Oh, I want the Commanders money line in this round.
Commanders money line. All right.
Yeah, I want the Commanders money line in this round. I feel it in my bones. Brock Purdy. I don't know, man. His confidence might be broken. We need that. We need that plus
point to prove. Point to prove, but the Commanders, Jacoby Brissett is going to start. So, right. So, yeah. So we've now got a round robin here where we've taken 3 different lines from 3 different games.
Exactly.
Over here, it says you're doing by 2s, but you have 3 wagers. And it allows you to make the 3-leg parlay. So here, when you put your $5 bet in, you're actually now going to be placing 3 wagers, because those 3 different options that we talked about can be combined in 3 different ways. And that's where the difference is. Like, if you added Elijah Moore back in, then that's not going to check. It's going to be by 2s. You're going to be allowed to do by 3s because it counts it as a separate line. So that's the bit that you're not able to do on DraftKings. You can't do this part. You can't take 2 players from the same game and have them as 2 separate lines. So you have options over here now of buy 2s, but you've got 5 different combinations that you can bet on. So your wager at this point is going to be $25. It's your $5 wager, but you're placing 5 different bets because there are 5 different combinations it's allowing you to have. But there should probably be 6 combinations, because again, the Njoku and Elijah Moore combination is not being bet on in a round robin.
Yep.
By 3s, again, here you go. Like, by 3s, you're only placing 2 wagers, but you've got 4 options. Again, you're taking these 3 at the top, you're taking these 3 at the bottom. That's your 2 wagers. That is the 2 wagers. You are not taking Elijah Moore, David Njoku, and Sam Laporta, or Njoku and Moore and Washington Commanders. With 4 options, by 3, you should have four bets.
Right.
And if we replaced Elijah Moore with someone from, again, a completely separate game, you would see that number changes, and it goes so on and so forth. The more legs you add from the more different games you add them. So let's just add Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. By 3s, you see now you're placing 4 wagers because you have 4 individual legs from 4 individual games. So yeah, it's just making sure that when you're placing these round robins, if you have anything from the same game on FanDuel will not put those 2 together. You will be taking 1 bet with one option and then 1 bet with another. So if you wanted to do that, you can, but you can't do by 2s. You need to be going and you're then placing 6, 7, 8. You're placing huge amounts of wagers because you're cutting the options down. And hey, you see people that take 8 touchdown scorers and round robin them by 4, and then they can hit 4 out of 8. But at that point, again, you're placing 25, 40 odd bets on all of the different combinations, and that's something that that's just when becomes a sometimes it's worth it, but sometimes
that's when you call the hotline.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, so the key difference between FanDuel and DraftKings, like we say, is that FanDuel will not automatically same game parlay these lines. They will allow you to break them down and take them as individuals, but you cannot do the combination. Whereas over here, like we said, it's going to automate. The only way it will allow you to get here is if you've same game parlayed the 2 picks. And then, yes, on DraftKings, this counts as 1 pick.
And it has become very fun.
It does, yeah, and there is definitely a way to utilize that and to same game parlay. And I know you did it. You do it very well in MLB, where you take 2 or 3. You take 3 same game parlays and take multiple options in each game, and you round robin those by 2, and then you only need to get 2 out of the 3 right, and we get decent returns. But you do need all of the things to happen in one game.
Yeah, you need 4. You need 2, both 2 legs to hit. So it does get tricky. It's obviously not something that we recommend people just start throwing together. But I am a degenerate and a veteran at the same time, and it's definitely the heartbreak is bad. Don't get me wrong, but it is fun. But yeah, FanDuel is very misleading because they'll offer it, and then the only thing that's different is that by that second number after the multiplication sign, and people get confused.
And that's where you have to understand exactly what those numbers mean, right? The X2 or the X4, that's how many bets you are placing.
Right. How many combinations you're allowed.
How many combinations. And the reason why that math might not add up, and it's easy to do it, and it's easy to see when you're only, like I say, with 3 options, because there are only 3 potential combinations of 1, 2, and 2 of 2 that you can put together, but it only allowed us to place 2 bets. So that's when you have to think, okay, which 2 bets has it allowed me to place? And what we know from experience is that the 1 bet that you do not place is the 2 from the same game, because you can do
honestly,
that.
For the odds that you get in those returns, the odds that you get in that return, like, it's not even really a round robin at that point.
No, it's literally at that point with only 3 options and you're placing 2 parlays.
Two legs.
You're placing two legs. But when you get to kind of the people that we talk about, and you're placing 8, 9, 10 legs, and you're doing a round robin by 1 less than that, because you're like, oh hey, like, I don't want to lose by 1 leg, but I also don't want to do an 8 leg round robin by 4, and then, like we said, have like 60 combinations, and now all of a sudden you're placing $1 on each one. It's a $60 stake. If 4 of them hit, that's great, but you placed $1 on that bet. It's not going to return you anywhere near your stake. So you need to hit kind of 6 or 7. So like when you're looking at those numbers though, and you're saying, oh hey, well, I've got 8 individual options, I'm doing by 6, and it's telling me I'm placing 36 bets, you're not necessarily going to go, well, hang on, if I've got 8 options that actually should be, I should have 46 bets, not 36. And all of a sudden, you're not looking at that, you're not working it out. And then you look back at your bet later and go, oh, hey, I got 7 out of 8 right. Why didn't I win? And it's because one of the ones that then didn't hit was one of those legs that is in every combination, because it's the only one you took from that game. The difference is the variations there become the different legs in the same. So that's where most people get confused, is that they have like those 3 or 4 legs that are individual that are in, and the only difference is the same game stuff. There's like 1 bet with Njoku in our example, 1 bet with Elijah Moore, but Sam Laporta, like we said, was the same across the board. Yeah, he's in every single bet, and if he misses, then every single one of your bets is dead. So again, just one of those things to keep in mind. And like we said, the way the different books work it is different. But if anyone has any questions about round robins, if they've lost a round robin and still can't track back what we've said here today, and want to ask us why it lost, absolutely post the screenshots on Twitter. We'll tell you why it lost.
We'll tell you you're an idiot. We'll tell you you're an idiot and that you lost, just like how we have lost them in the past. Just like Ice did me a couple years ago. I sent him a soccer one, like, man, why didn't I win? And he's like, oh, well, you're one of the dummies that doesn't know what a round robin is, and we'll give you a little bit of shit. Well, we'll
but everyone has to do it sometime, right? Like I had to lose a couple, and I did it. I lost mine on MLB. I did mine home runs. I had 4 home run scorers, and did it by 3 3 of them hit, 1 of them missed, but I made the same mistake. And I was like sat there going, how on earth? But I had to go through it. I had to go through that and realize that the reason I lost is because I'd only placed 3 bets instead of 4.
Yep.
And that 4th option was like, I could place it, but you have to manually do that. And you have to place it on FanDuel as a same game parlay plus.
Yeah.
And you have to manually do it. And it can be done. It's just when you've got lots of different options and you're taking those, like that's where FanDuel becomes harder to work and more annoying than DraftKings, because DraftKings would just go, hey, you've got a couple of same game parlays in there, like we'll add them together. That's, so it depends what you're looking for. Will depend which book is easier for you. But again, and then it's any questions?
Everybody always like, well, why don't you just run the 3 leg? Because if I pick 3 out of these 4 legs, the other one that I don't pick is going to be the one that hits. Okay, like just so yeah, it's definitely confusing. I know sometimes I've gotten into like texting full emails trying to send like full essays trying to explain, and it's like I always tell people the first thing I say is like, hey, if you're not familiar, don't pick legs in the same games, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be questions. Definitely hit us up. We'll try our best to explain it and not sound crazy.
No, come to, and again, it's easier if you have screenshots of ones that you have placed for this weekend's action, or ones that that have lost in the past and you don't really understand why. If you can send us a screenshot of a bet that you've placed, or a bet that has been settled and lost, and you can send us the screenshot of the full bet, then we'll be able to explain to you exactly what bet you have placed, exactly why it might have won or lost, or why sometimes your returns aren't as big as you thought. You're placing and you see, you saw one there, it's just like, oh, hey, I can win $500 from 15. It's like, that's if all of them hit, and
then you make,
at that point you're going to go
get 127 back. You get 127 back, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. So anything like that, find us on Twitter at PW_housemoney, at Iceman_1013, at PruBaby10. Hit any of us up with any of those questions about round robins and really anything else. Like if there are any other questions that come up as to anything to do with gambling, whether it's to do with football, baseball, soccer, basketball, any of that kind of stuff, it all really kind of works the same when you're round robining stuff. But any questions, let us know. And we'll catch you next time playing with more house money.